There's two things that happened yesterday on October the 3rd. On Wednesday, there was an 18-wheeler that hit and killed a man on a motor scooter Wednesday morning and drove away. The accident happened on Highway 25 near the SunTrust Bank around 9 a.m. Now, troopers said that 71-year-old Jerry Corl hit and killed 65-year-old Ronald Robinson. Now, Corl is charged with hit and run and causing death that resulted in the hit and run. Also, a homicide by vehicle and leaving the scene and following too closely. The moped was dragged about 600 feet. Just a rough estimate of how long 600 feet is. 600 feet is about as long as a Space Needle in Seattle. So they didn't say that if the person was dragged with that moped as well. I mean, I can only assume that he was dragged. I don't know if he was dragged 600 feet, but I mean, that's a long time for a motor vehicle to be dragged by a semi-trailer, and for the 71-year-old not to notice it. And also, Garden City Court arraigned him Wednesday, and the judge didn't give him bond at all. Troopers say that after releasing a photo of the semi, Georgia Port Authority police spotted the truck near Gate 2 on River Street. They matched the damage on the truck to the damage and witness described, and called troopers and motor compliance. Now, Corl's next bond hearing is scheduled on October the 10th. So, I mean, my biggest question is, how was a 71-year-old still able to work? I mean, you gotta understand the age of retirement is 60 years old. So, I mean, I know truck driving is a different occupation. You can be truck driving till you about 80 years old. I mean, you can even be older than that. So, I mean, it's just, you just gotta like really understand that you can't be driving for the rest of your life, you know, especially if you get older, even past the age of 60. Some older people shouldn't be driving, and you know, this is one of them. And I'm not sure about his driving history. Maybe this was the first time he was involved in a accident that involves his job. But rest in peace to Ronald Robinson. There isn't a picture for Ronald Robinson yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll find it pretty soon. So any other updates about this, I'll let y'all know as well. And also, my next piece of news, Savannah police are still investigating after a shooting that happened near Daffin Park that injured a 14-year-old boy on October the 3rd. Now, it happened at Washington Avenue and B Road on Wednesday. The teen was shot after an altercation that happened at Myers Middle School. Now, initially, when I heard this story, they didn't release the age of the person, but I had a community activist that I follow on Facebook, and she initially said that the male was 16, but the kid is 14, so that doesn't make it any better. So any other information about this, I'll let you know as well. But you know, it's senseless how something that starts off in school ends up with a kid getting shot in the back. And what they were saying was that the kid that was shot, he was walking with other juveniles, other kids. And that's when somebody pulled up on him and the kids in the car and started shooting. And to be honest with you, this is not the first bit of violence that I've seen this week. There was a viral video that was going on Facebook of some teenagers, look like they just got out of high school, fighting on the west side. You know, obviously on the other side of town, but you know, in that fight, I was going to actually do a reaction video to it, but I couldn't find the video anymore because I believe whoever had recorded the video had taken down off of Facebook. But it just lets you know, man, that you know, violence in school is common. You know, it was common when I was in school 8 years ago. So I mean, the kids in school now, man, they really have to really rearrange their mindset and just have to be focused in school. Don't focus on what other kids are doing or saying to you, and if you're being bullied in school. And this just goes for any kids that watch this, because I believe there are some kids that go to certain high schools in the city that watch these videos. You know, if you're getting bullied, you know, don't be afraid to stand up and tell somebody, you know, that a situation is going on in the school. You know, you might be called a snitch or a bitch or a hoe or a bitch ass nigga. Ain't nothing scary about a kid that wants to learn and that doesn't want to be involved with other people's shenanigans, especially these kids out here, man. And whoever is the parent or the parents of the person who shot the 16 or actually the 14-year-old boy, I just want to say, man, I mean, how well of a role model are you if your kid is out here plotting on murders or attempted murders? So, I mean, that's all I really got to say, man. But any other updates for any of the news that I talked about, I'll let y'all know as well. But that's all for right now. Stay blessed, Seaport.